6 everyday things that hurts your dog's feelings. And did you know that your dog has feelings just like you and me? Well, if you didn't know that already, they do have feelings, and they can be quite sensitive sometimes. You might think that your dog is too dumb to have feelings, but in reality, they are much smarter than what we give them credit for. And they feel things like happiness, sadness, fear, anger, and even grief. So today, we're going to be talking about 6 everyday things that hurt your dog's feelings. And make sure you watch till the end of the video, because the last one is going to surprise you. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Number 1. Yelling at them or using harsh words. As I said before, dogs do have feelings, and they feel things just like us. So when you yell at them or say really harsh things to them, this can really hurt their feelings. Dogs can sense when you're getting upset, and they can tell by your tone of voice if you're mad or not. Even if you're not saying anything bad to them directly, your dog could still be picking up on your bad vibes, so to speak, and it can be very scary and hurtful to them. Also, if you use harsh words to correct your dog, they won't be able to understand why you're mad, and they'll be much less likely to listen to you and cooperate. A lot of people will also yell at their dogs to get their attention. And again, while this may work every now and then, it's definitely not the best approach when trying to train your dog. The best way to train your dog is to stay calm and relaxed, be patient with them, and use positive reinforcement. Meaning, you should reward your dog when they do something good instead of punishing them when they do something bad. This will help your dog build confidence and trust in you and make them more likely to listen to you in the long run. Now, it's important to note that yelling at your dog isn't always bad. For example, if your dog is in immediate danger, it's perfectly okay to yell at them to try and get them to come back or stop doing whatever it is they're doing. But in most situations, yelling at your dog will only make them afraid of you, and it won't help them learn. So try to stay calm and positive when you're around your dog, and they'll love you all the more for it. Number 2. Leaving them outside all day. Dogs are social animals who need lots of attention from their humans. So, if you leave them outside all day with little to no human contact, they can become very lonely and depressed. This can lead to a number of behavioral problems, such as chewing up the house, barking excessively, and even aggression. In extreme cases, leaving your dog outside all day can actually be considered animal abuse. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. My dog spends all day outside, and they seem fine. They don't have any of those behavioral problems I mentioned. But just because your dog doesn't have behavioral problems doesn't mean that they are not suffering mentally. They might be putting on a brave face, but inside, they could be feeling really down. So if you do have to leave your dog outside for long periods of time, at the very least make sure they have plenty of water and food, and maybe even some toys to keep them entertained. But the ideal situation would be to bring them inside with you, where they belong. Number 3. Forgetting to socialize them. It's important to socialize your dog from an early age so they can get used to being around other people and animals. If you don't socialize your dog, they can become very fearful and anxious around other dogs and people, which can cause all sorts of problems down the road. For example, an unsocialized dog might bite someone out of fear or aggression, or they could be so anxious around other dogs that they can't even go for walks in the park. So it's really important to start socializing your dog as soon as possible. Take them for walks in busy areas, invite friends over to your house so they can meet new people, and if possible, get your dog a canine companion. All of these things will help your dog learn how to behave around other dogs and people, and it will help them become well-adjusted adults. If you're not sure how to socialize your dog, talk to your vet or a professional dog trainer. They can help you come up with a plan that works for you and your dog. No, 4. Not giving them enough exercise. Dogs need exercise just like humans do. If they don't get enough exercise, they can become bored, frustrated, and even destructive. For example, a bored dog might chew up your furniture or dig holes in your backyard. So it's important to find ways to keep your dog active and engaged. Most dogs need at least 30 minutes of exercise per day, and you can provide this through walks, runs, hikes, or even playing fetch in the backyard. Not only will this help keep your dog physically fit, but it will also help them burn off any pent-up energy they might have, and it'll help them relax and be more obedient when you're home. Number 5. When you ignore them. Dogs are social animals, and they crave attention from their humans. So when you ignore them, it can be very hurtful to them. It can make them feel neglected and unwanted, and it can lead to all sorts of behavioral problems. For example, an ignored dog might start barking excessively to get your attention. They could also become destructive because they're bored and frustrated, or they could start begging for food because they want your attention. In extreme cases, a dog who is ignored for long periods of time could even develop separation anxiety. So, it's important to make sure that you give your dog the attention they need. This doesn't mean you have to be with your dog 24/7, but you should make time for them every day. Take them for walks, play with them, and simply pet them and talk to them. All of these things will help your dog feel loved and wanted, and it will help them stay happy and well-adjusted. Number 6. When you force them to do things. Just like humans, dogs need to feel like they have control over their lives. When you force them to do things, it can make them feel helpless and stressed out. This can lead to all sorts of problems, such as aggression, anxiety, and even health problems. For example, if you force your dog to go for a walk when they're really scared and anxious, this can make them more likely to bite someone. Or if you force your dog to interact with other dogs when they're feeling shy, this can make them more likely to become aggressive. Instead, you should try to understand why your dog is feeling the way they do and work on addressing those issues. If your dog is scared of other dogs, don't force them to interact with other dogs. Instead, take them to a quiet place where they can relax and be away from other dogs. Over time, they'll become more comfortable around other dogs, and you can slowly introduce them to other dogs in a safe and controlled environment. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave us a big thumbs up. We really appreciate it when you do. And don't forget to leave us a comment down below about what you think. We love reading your comments and responding to them as well. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and click the subscribe button. We post new videos every week, and we'd love for you to be a part of our growing community. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.